You are now tuned into the DFPN, the Dat Feelin Podcast Network. Welcome to the Smoke Pit. It's Friday night, come and take a load off. Come sit in the Smoke Pit, it's time for us to show off. It's been a long week, come relaxing, get some laughs in, and let's talk about these brackets. And while we at it, tell me whose mans is this? Cause I got questions, I'm hoping you can answer it. Get ready, cause you know we gon' talk a lot of shit. It's Mac and Mac, welcome to the Smoke Pit.
What is good, everybody out there in the world of social media, internet, whatever, worldwide webs? I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know we came off guard on a Wednesday. Normally we hit y'all up on a Friday, but a lot of things going on, and I have some amazing individuals who want to come on here and share their thoughts about some of the things that were not bothering me, but things that I wanted to talk about and make sure we have some conversations and dialogue about. As you can see, my man Black is not there doing the Lord's work. He may or may not join later on today, but right now what we got is my man here, host of the AntBoogie podcast. You've probably seen us post a link here in the fan group page on Facebook, but none other than my man AntBoogie is here to join me on this episode of the Smoke Pit. How you feeling?
What's happening? What's good, Bo? Glad to be here. Good to see you.
Chilling, man.
It's good to see your face, Willie.
Yeah, man. Same to you. Little known facts but when we both make it famous and shit, for y'all who are watching, this dude right here was the main reason, one of the driving forces behind the shit that we are doing every week, the Smoke Pit. He was one of the ones that got in my ear and was like, get out here and do some shit, right? And we both been kind of pushing each other and bringing each other up along the way, man. So much love to you, my guy. And like we were talking about before the show, great things are in our future, bro. Great things are in our future, man. I can
feel it. I feel
right.
Feel it right here, Willie. I feel it right here. That's how I know.
Yeah. Like I said, my man hosts the AntBoogie podcast. Search it, Spotify, wherever you streaming your podcast at, man. AntBoogie podcast. You see the logo behind him. So once you see that picture, you know you in the right spot. Good stuff, man. And he's got more stuff on the way. But let's go ahead and knock out naming the name drop. So big three sponsors for Dat Feelin Podcast Network. We got Plug Earbuds at gettheplugs.com. Use promo code DFPN10, get 10% off your purchase from there. Good quality sounding wireless earbuds. Audioswim.com. For anybody who's trying to get in the music business, they can hook you up, get you set up, less than $5 a track, out on all the premier streaming services. So check them out, audioswim.com. Premier Element UAE for all your managing, representation, marketing, all that stuff. They can hook you up there at premierelement.com. For the music side of Dat Feelin, check out the Bandcamp. We got exclusive tracks on there that aren't streaming anywhere else. And then also you can pick up early access to releases that are coming out. Big plug, Black Mac has his album coming out soon. It's going to premiere there on the Bandcamp. Then he'll release it out to the major streaming services. But you're going to hear it first on Dat Feelin Bandcamp. So datfeelin.bandcamp.com. Y'all know what it is at the Patreon. At the end of this September, we'll be doing our $100 giveaway for our Patreon members. So check us out at patreon.com/Dat Feelin Podcast, ad-free podcast episodes, additional content that's not available anywhere else. So check us out over there. Last but not least, got merch available at datfeelin-podcast.creator-spring.com. Easily, you could probably just go to spring.com or teespring.com, search Dat Feelin Podcast, and you'll find a store, a piece shirt, all that good stuff. So just check us out over there, support the brand. all that good stuff. Now that we got away, my guy, you ready to take this shot, take this drink, and get into the
Let's do it.
Get into it. Get into it. All right, man. So it's only Wednesday, but here's to all the Pitmasters out there. Here's to everybody checking with us. We halfway there, baby. Hump day. Let's get it. Y'all don't know this man is on Jaeger right now. I don't know how y'all feel about Jaeger, but he on that Jaeger right now.
I was gonna keep it a secret.
He on that Jaeger.
I didn't want him to be like Ant weird ass over there drinking Jaeger just straight.
I was telling him before the show, man, like in younger days, like Jaeger was nothing to me. Them Jaeger bombs, bro, was nothing to me. Killing them like a ripping, destroy them, get me going. But then I hit a certain age where I was just like, my heart can't take this shit no more. You know, like
right.
My heart can't take it. But yeah, man. So last week, me and Black, we had a show, and we just wanted a group. This on my man, and here is an Air Force veteran, got out, honorable, all that good stuff, man. He did his time. So salute to you. Appreciate your service and everything you put in and gave to the country.
Thank you, sir.
I know
Thank
you have been watching the news. You have been seeing the goings-ons over there in Afghanistan. And then before I let you talk, we are joined by our other guest host, who is settling in right now, cheesing and everything. She was on the show a couple weeks ago. She helped it. She held it down with your boy. Let's welcome back the good sis to the Smoke Pit. What's going on?
What's happening?
Hey guys, it's Liddy in the city.
I hear you. Welcome to the show. So let us go ahead. And I was just talking to Ant, thanking for his service and everything. And now we got you here. Last week, me and Black, we kind of held a show talking to individuals and kind of getting their thoughts on the situation in Afghanistan. If you want to share some thoughts, cool. If not, I understand, because I know it's affecting everybody a little different. I was going to start with Ant and get his thoughts on the situation, how he feels about everything going on over there.
This is my first time, so I want to do this right. Ladies first. Go ahead, Denise. You got this.
Okay, so honestly, when it comes to the situation in Afghanistan, I'm quite conflicted about how it is that I feel. Because on one hand, it's like it's never really our responsibility to stay in there as long as we did, but because we're the world's like superpower, whatever, we really, as a country, have a real save-a-ho complex, and part of me feels like we kind of overstayed our welcome. But at the same time, part of it was also very necessary, because at the end of the day, I don't feel like Afghanistan ever really truly had any intentions on being able to stand up and take care of their own. So is it fair to keep American personnel over there, keeping this country safe and like doing all of these things? Or at some point, do we hold this country accountable for taking care of their own business? It's very difficult for me, because on one end, like I said, I definitely feel like we should have left a long time ago, but we stayed. But because of how long we opted to stay, it was kind of like one of those things where like, well, there's really no point in leaving now. Just looking at how everything unfolded and just how quickly everything unfolded, I can definitely understand the sentiments of many personnel who feel like, well, what was the point of us being there? The long-term effects, like those who, like the wounded warriors who are injured, and like if we were never there, they probably would sustain the injuries that they sustained. Something else could have happened in their life, God forbid. Hopefully nothing would have happened in their life, but it's very easy to pinpoint like, well, these injuries that we sustained by being here, that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't here. For those who have like those invisible wounds that nobody wants to talk about, like PTSD, people wouldn't be like feeling the way that they feel and like going through the emotions, having the nightmares, having the night terrors, having the flashbacks of everything that they experienced if they were not there. But at the same time, we did a lot of good in that time period that we were there. And you don't ever want to sit there and look at it like we were there in vain. But it kind of feels like we're in vain. They're in vain, if that makes sense. So for me personally, I'm very conflicted about this whole Afghanistan thing at the end of the day. We definitely should have been left, but because we chose to stay as long as we did, it's almost like we should have just stayed. It's heartbreaking, like looking at these news images and you're like seeing all these Afghanis where like they're willing to risk their life to try to escape what's about to happen to them. And like, that's not something that the average American is ever going to have to like deal with. That's not an ordeal that they'll ever partake in, because we have so many different liberties and like we have it way better than a lot of these other countries. But at the same time, it's just like, how long can I be responsible for what's going on in your backyard? So that's just my 2 cents.
Go ahead, Ant.
Is it my? Oh, okay. My bad. I was stuck a little bit.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you good. It wasn't you, trust me. It was definitely me. But like I feel like with the Afghanistan thing, everything that's going on over there right now, it's like I feel like it's gonna be one of them things that pass. Right now, it's a hot topic politically because it's really something to talk about. It's a chance to talk shit, both sides. I'm not saying any side taking up for any side or the other. It's a chance for both sides to really, get their words off against each other. I feel like this is one of them things where a year from now, 2 years from now, it'll definitely indeed still be serious, but at the same time, it's not going to be talked about like this. I personally don't think it's a big deal like the news and the social media makes it out to be. Not saying it's a big deal, but the news and social media make it seem like people really care about it a certain type of way. But people really don't care about it. There's people who think they know certain things. Like every time I hear somebody, those people that's like, man, I'd have went to basic training back in the day, I'd have punched this motherfucker in the face if he would have got in my face. Like those dudes, like, oh, I could have been in the military. No, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
Right. Those are the main people that's putting their 2 cents in on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. And let me say this: I honestly don't think a lot of people, even a lot of people that's in the military, even we're not close enough to those top decisions to be like what's really going on. Should we have been gone 10 years ago? We see now that social media is what it is. We see how corrupt, things can be with politicians and things like that, right? So it's like, what was really going on 10 years ago behind those closed doors? That could we have left 10 years ago? Or was the shit just a popularity contest about, we'll never know that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when things are hidden off like that, or, up in higher levels of government leadership and, political ranks, the things like that we'll never know. So in 6 months, a year, I feel like it's going to die down. Do I feel like, to answer your question, do I feel like we should have got out of there earlier? Yeah. I mean, we all been there. We all see what really go on over there. Blink twice if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you feel me? So it's like, wow, we should have been gone. And if we was over there for that long of a time, like either we failed them and not preparing them themselves, but it was still time to go, or they failed themselves not taking the training or whatever serious enough, and they failed themselves. Either way, it's gonna be looked at like whose fault was it because of how it went down. But I do feel like it was time to go. Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, me personally, I'm not torn up about the fact that we are pulling troops out. It's long overdue at the end of the day. And I feel like many people who have a lot to say about this are people who have never been in our shoes, don't know what it's like out there, never like been anywhere near it. It's like the people who, like Ann said, like, oh, if I went through basic training and somebody got in my face, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's a reason why only 1% of us in this country serve. And it's a reason why 99% do not qualify. And that's coming from somebody who was actively in the CAF and somebody who was a recruiter trying to put people in. Like, there's a reason why it was only 1% at the end of the day. It was long overdue. And right now, it definitely is a popularity contest, and it's definitely a blame game. But let's be real. We went through like 4 administrations of this shit. And everybody's going to point their fingers like, oh, it should have been you. 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 Everybody collectively own your little chunk of this and how this went down or whatever. And let's just get to a point where we can resolve this and like move forward. It's definitely a hot topic, like Ant said, because I mean, hell, if we're not talking about this, then what are we talking about? COVID, racism, shit that's here to stay. So, I mean, it's something that allows people to have something else to think about other than like what's currently going on. But are people really up in arms the way that they act like they are? That 1% is, but that 99%, nah, they just talking because it's something to do. That's just my opinion.
So let me ask y'all both this, and I'll let Ant answer first. Both of you guys, and kind of we stayed longer than we should have. Just given your opinions, when we should have kind of bowed out and pulled troops and pulled chocks and came back home.
That was a little choppy, but I think your question was when do we think we should have been pulled out? Was that the question?
When should we have left? Yeah. When should we have left?
Who knows, Willie? That's my whole thing. Like, do we really know? Okay, how bad was things really at the year 5? Like even us that been in the military, like we know how bad our job was when we were over there at the year 5. We knew what we was responsible for at year 10. We knew what we had to go over there and what our mission was at year 15, year 20, you know, that you feel me? But I think it's always just been, all right, this is something popular to do right now. You know what I'm saying? So could it have been, you know, should it have been 5 years ago? Should it have been 10 years ago? You know, I feel like we don't know. And I feel like even if like, you know, historians, people that like study war and all of this, like they study the things that happen, they study the reactions, the things that happen, they study when things started, how long it took, how things ended. But like I said before, those people that are in those top rooms, you know, they know when we should have pulled out. I honestly don't know. Maybe I just be thinking in the clouds too much, but I just think, yeah, there's some other stuff going on, bro.
And for me, I definitely agree with where he's coming from, because I feel like at the end of the day, like those of us who were downrange, we only know 40%. We know what happened in the mission brief. We know that we were briefed, and we know what intel told us. And that's not nearly what really was going on. Like, if you listen to like anybody talk about, like, the real question is like, why were we there in the first place? Some people say it was to get Osama bin Laden. Others say it's to eradicate terrorism. Some of them said to take advantage of the opium. We don't really know what we were there for. All we know at the end of the day, at our ranks where we were at when they sent us, is that we just salute smartly and we carry out the mission that we're told to execute. But we don't really know what we're there for. And nobody, in a way, I can honestly say, as messed up as it sounds, it's not like top brass really owes us an explanation. I mean, they do, because it's our lives that are on the line, but do they? I'm sure they don't feel like they owe us an explanation. They're high up there. They don't owe that to us. We're tactical level, operational at best. We're not strategic. So it was never for us to know why we were there in the first place. So it is kind of difficult to say when we should have pulled out, because we don't even really know why we were completely there in the first place.
I agree.
We salute smartly and we just do what we're told.
Fact.
Yeah.
Facts. But yeah, I mean, it's I only wanted to ask you guys this, just from people who are serving currently, people who have served, anybody who had any kind of role in the operation and freedom or anything supporting that, because it's affecting a lot of people differently. I've seen people super pissed, because they've lost good friends, loved ones, family members over there, and the end result is it just goes back to where it was. People mad because we couldn't fix the country. People upset at the country because they're not pulling their weight, and there's so many emotions from so many people that the topic has been to, and I just think it's important that conversation and dialogue about this happens, instead of people holding this stuff in, and people like you guys sharing your opinions and thoughts and probably relating to somebody who's watching or may hear this and be like, I'm not the only one thinking this way. So yeah, I appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts, and then I'll see if you guys have any final words on this before we move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult topic, and like at the end of the day, I don't feel like there's a right answer and there's not a wrong answer, but it's a very divisive answer at the end of the day, depending on which end of the spectrum that you stand on. There's a lot of people who lost a lot of things because of this, and then there's some people who are not affected at all. And I think only time will tell as the rest of this unfolds within the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. We'll get a little bit closer to like being able to pinpoint, like, did we make the right move or did we make the wrong move? But ultimately, that wasn't our decision to make. That was top brass, and that was leadership all the way up to the president. And obviously, at the end of the day, they know something that we don't know, and that's what guided them to make this decision, even though they never lived the life that we lived and was never doing what it is that we did. But at the end of the day, we're the ones who are going to be suffering long term, whatever that may look like, whether you have like an injury or you lost somebody, or now like you're mentally messed up and like I don't know. I don't know. It's just at the end of the day, it wasn't our decision to make. And so it's hard to speak for other people.
Yeah.
Especially I don't have their power and I don't have the knowledge that they have. I can just speak from my level.
Yeah. And that's kind of where you've seen a couple of his comments. Timothy Gordon, he tuned in last week, and that's where his mind was at. He was like, once you raise your right hand and you take that oath, you just follow orders. Orders, yeah. Punishment, you know. So they're like, go over there and do that. We went over there and did that. And we come back, and then we go back over there, and then we come back, and then we go back over there. I mean, we really have no real say in the matter, you know. So it's like Ant said, there's people in high place who were voted there by the 99% that don't serve, who make the decisions that our ranking officers have to follow and execute. So I agree. Like, there's only so much I can say as an active duty member. You know, I can't really say too much, but at the bare minimum, while serving, I just carry out orders, bro. He's blinking.
I mean, that's all you can do. It's almost like being at the bottom of the totem pole, and it's just like I just do what I'm told. Like, you tell me to mop these floors, I'm out here mopping these floors. You tell me to go do this, I'm doing that. Why? Because I'm trying to get this check on the 1st and the 15th, and I'm trying to get a pension after the end of all of this. I mean, it's messed up, but like, really, realistic. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the main thing that I think about, like, for me, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox real quick, like, this is almost the end for me. Like, I just hit over 16 years, and so, like, really, I just want to do these little 3+ years or whatever, and like chuck the deuces. But at the same time, I have to wonder, like, what are the long-term effects that I'm going to suffer from this? How much stuff did I just endure and just bottle it up and just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, all in the name of doing a good job, making rank, being a quote-unquote good leader? Like, how is this going to unfold when I finally get to shed this uniform and I'm finally free? And that's when the real emotions are going to come out.
Okay, you bring up a good point. It's going to delay us moving to the next topic. But Ant, you went through that. You know, you deployed, you did all this stuff, and you got out. Talk to us a little bit about the effects of going from gun-ho, follow on orders, to now you get to sit back and look back on what you did. Like, what kind of effects did that have on you, transitioning from active duty to the civilian world?
Well, the main thing you realize when you transition to the civilian world is the civilian world moves very differently from, you know, active duty. And when I say that, I mean, like, I'll start from the beginning, right? When I first got out, like, my first job, like, even just working with people, like, I'm like, dang, dude, like, I mean, even though there are some people in the military like this, but, like, you know, sometimes you work with people on the civilian side and they real live just, you know, don't care. It's like, hey, bro, I need help back here. Oh,
They have the video playing, just watching the video playing with the volume up, because I'm hearing an echo a little bit.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Hold on.
All right. Yeah, keep going then.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Okay. Maybe it was me. Okay. Shit, Willie, what was we talking about?
The civilian life.
Okay, yeah. So it's like,
From active to civilian, yeah.
right. So it's like, you know, sometimes, like, you'll just work, even working with certain people, you know, you'll be like, you know, dude, I was back here, you know, I needed help with this. I'm like, oh man, I ain't going back there doing that, because of so and so, you know, pissed me off. Like, you know, if you're in the military and it's your man, you're supposed to help him do something. Even if your supervisor piss you off, if that's your homeboy, he, like, you know, you can count on your bro, your sis, not to leave you hanging. That's not always the case in the civilian world. And, you know, getting closer to the question that you were saying with, you know, with the deployment, everything that going on, like, let's go ahead and, you know, tiptoe around the elephant in the room. My way out the military was very fragile, but very fortunate in the end. And not only with the deployments, there was some other stuff that I had to, you know, deal with that I don't think was fair, you know, but, you know, that's another topic for another day, you know what I'm saying? And even with that stuff, the deployments, you know what I'm saying, being away from family, you know, even other stuff that went on in the military that some people know about, you know what I'm saying, that I had to deal with the entire time I was in the military, pretty much from start to finish, like just background stuff that people don't know about, having to constantly talk to people about that, you know, and still telling them, like, hey, I want to go on this deployment. Like, think about this. Imagine the military putting you in a position where you have to go, you want to go on this deployment to this dangerous place just so you can have some extra money for a situation that the military put you in. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, even with all of that stuff, and then you still, you know, want to go on these deployments. You know, there's people there's a lot of people in the military that want to go to these dangerous places just to make, you know, extra money or whatever. And it's not only the deployments. Like, look at the different stuff you have to go through. Like, even when, like, Willie, you know that when you out process, you know it's gonna be some shit, right? Like, you know this. Like, you know, I gotta get TMO. I gotta go get this paperwork signed. I know this dude ain't gonna sign it like he said he was gonna sign it. I got 3 days to get this signed, and this is about to happen. Like, the whole process of just going to another base in the military is stressful, especially when you got family. You know what I'm saying? When you trying to load the kids up, all that, like, even the stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, of course, the military was all bad. I'm not even saying that the military doesn't take care of me now, because they do. You know what I mean? But
there was a price to pay for that at the end of the day. And a lot of people are not hip to like that price that we ultimately pay. Like, they just look at it and just think shit's all sweet. And it's not. Like, you do not know the ordeal and the struggle that I had to go through to get to this point that you're seeing right here. You're just seeing the facade on the outside because you're on the outside looking in, but you don't know what it's like being on the inside.
Right. It's like, you know, your family members, your friends back home, they be like, oh, Denise in the military now. She got money. She got money. Willie just bought a nice car. Oh, you know, oh snap. Oh yeah, he out there. Nah, bro. Like, look, first, you don't know. I almost just had to whoop somebody's ass in my office to get this leave approved so I could take my family here, and had the money left to go get on the trip. And they in there playing, and I can't punch him in the face like I want to punch him in the face. And this dude need to be punched in the face, and they playing with him. They don't know. Yeah, I'm here. Hey, everybody, I'm saying this. I'm saying everything that they want to say. Yes. So can I say this? Can I say it, Willie? Can I say what I need to say? It's from my mouth. Look.
Go ahead.
There's some of you in the military that stress your people out. Some of you need to be punched in the face. Some of you were super awkward and super weird in middle school, and now you're making it tough for your troops. That shit ain't cool. They going through the same shit that you're going through, and they want to punch you in the face. Be cool. Signed, every active duty person in the military, they got to deal with a douchebag.
Hashtag message.
Thank you.
Yo.
And that's a cosign from one NCO.
Some people get in there and they forget that they're human and they dealing with other humans. You know?
Exactly.
They just start looking at them as their rank, and not a whole person with feelings and things and life issues and stressors. And you know, I think, and I mean, it took long enough. But I mean, now with these diversity and you know, integration and this other stuff that the Air Force and military as a whole is focused on now, they're pushing all these programs and resources for people to take time and get to know their people and to give them the help they need. But in actuality, you just sit through the training and then you just go back to doing what you've been doing because the mission needs to get done. And that's just what I've been seeing here at Luke. They sit through the training, and then because out here at Luke, like there have been suicides going on, like and they've been happening on the maintenance side, the overworking, the this, that, and the third, and you know, a suicide will happen, an email will come out, you know, apologies, all this stuff. You know, they say all the right words, and then does ops stop for that day? Do they stop doing sorties? Do they have a down day so people can sit and mourn? Nope.
Sometimes
planes taking off right outside of the building. just mission got to go, training got to happen. So until they really sit down and think like, what's more important here? You know, like the people or the mission. They say people first, mission always. People always, mission first. They go back and forth, but at the end of the day, in my experience, I can just talk for myself. Like the mission's gonna go. The mission's gonna go because we always got an influx of people coming in. They're just like, there's another person waiting to take this person's spot. Not saying that they don't feel bad about the individual that passed, but it's one of those things where you're just like, at what point do we just sit down and be like, why have there been 4 suicides in the last year? Like, just sit down and figure that shit out, and then we move on. But that's just me.
The reason why is because at the end of the day,
y'all got nothing else.
People, I was gonna say, I think the reason why is because people look at it like we're an expendable force. At the end of the day, it's something. If you were to go down for a count, there's somebody who's already trained to take your place. The mission's always going to keep going, whether you're doing it or not. And because we get comfortable in how expendable people are, that's why shit carries on the way that it does. It takes people to shake that up and like, nah, you need to stop getting so comfortable and being okay with replacing the next person and always having somebody in rotation. Like, these are real people that we're dealing with at the end of the day. And I think that's part of the reason why like people struggle, like especially whether they stay in for 20, 30, or they get out at 4 or they get out at 6. Like, you spent all these years grinding for the mission or whatever. And a lot of times, what do you have to show for yourself when it's all said and done? Sure, somebody sends you off. They have a fancy ceremony. If they like you, they might give you a cute little plaque that you can hang up on your wall. You might have some dope memories that you have or whatever. But overall, what do you really have to show for yourself? Nothing, because the mission is going to keep going. We always carry about like fulfilling our legacy and leaving a legacy. For what? What legacy are we leaving? We're going to be replaced. In 3 years, nobody's going to remember my name and somebody's going to move on to the next. Somebody else is going to be the hot thing in the streets. Somebody's going to be that top leader that everybody talks about. Why we dig us, like, why do we grind as hard as we do and dig ourselves in a hole?
That's facts. That's facts. Well, bro, we could stay on this, but I want to get to a topic that me and Ant were kind of discussing on Facebook, and then we decided to come on here and chop it up about. I know he's got to bounce in a little bit, so I want to get his thoughts on it. So, if you've been checking the news over the weekend, there was a event held up in Oregon, track and field. Sha'Carri Richardson was running against everybody fresh off of the Olympics, right? If you don't remember, we had a show about Sha'Carri when she got kind of kicked off or suspended from track and field representing the United States over in Tokyo based on having marijuana, being popped for marijuana in the drug test. So her first event back from that, she ran out of 9 runners. She came in last. Reactions have been back and forth on it. I posted something, Ant posted his opinion, and we were having a discussion, but things were seeming to be misunderstood. So he wanted to come on here and kind of clear the air and actually be able to voice his opinion on the matter. So the floor is yours. Go ahead and tell us your thoughts about Miss Sha'Carri.
So, all right. So one day, I was sitting on Facebook scrolling, and I'm just looking. I'm watching everybody go in. I'm like, oh my God, they killing her. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, people I know, celebrities. So I posted something. I was like, I said, it's crazy how Sha'Carri's own people turned on her. I could tell some those same people worked in the house back in the day and was snitching on people. And I went hard, I can admit that. But here's my explanation to this, and this is why I did go that hard, and it wasn't directed at anybody intentional. And before I say this, like me and Willie was talking about before, I wanted to come up here because I didn't want anybody to think me and Willie was going at each other's neck. That's why I had commented like, no, bro, I'm gonna just come on because this is a lot of typing. No, I don't want nobody else to be like, hey, oh yeah, Willie. Nah, it ain't none of that. Willie, my boy. But Willie, I will say my inbox was on fire because they was like, what? I was like, nah, I was like, watch the show. But this is why I said that. So back when Sha'Carri when she first got banned from smoking, you know, everybody had their opinions, but the overwhelming response was, you know, oh, she's 21, her mother just died, this and this, you know, she young, she made mistakes, all of this. And then you fast forward to her, you know, getting burnt. I mean, 1000% she got burnt. Like, she lost bad. And like, I felt like, you know, everybody was going hard on her, but I was like, yo, this is the same girl that y'all just acknowledged had mental health issues because of her mom. This is only like 5-6 weeks later, which means she lost her mom a little over 2 months ago. If you were to lose a family member, a parent, not you guys, I'm talking about anybody. If you were to lose a family member, like, that's gonna stick. You know what I mean? And one of me and your comments, Willie, that remember before, you know, we went on, I was telling you I wanted to get into something. And you know, you had said, not only you, a lot of people had said, well, maybe she shouldn't have showed up to race. You know, she wasn't ready. And I responded, like, no matter what someone is going through, you can't necessarily say what they should do for, you know, to get their mind right. Maybe that's what she decided to do to get her mind right. Maybe she was at the house going back and forth, like, nah, I'm not gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just try to get back in stride. You know, I lost my mom. You know, I couldn't go run. I can finally go run. Maybe this is what I need. And she went to go do it. She lost. She's 21 years old. She just lost a race. I didn't feel like I didn't think it was a situation like, oh, she shouldn't have did it. She just went and run. She just went and ran and lost a race. And going back to what we was talking about before, when it was like, you know, I could tell, like, yeah, both of us gonna be destined for great things and all of this. So really, let's just say it's like 5 years from now, bro. You know what I'm saying? You and Black, y'all about to, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are there. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got an event or whatever coming on. You know what I'm saying? I have conversations with you and Black. You get what I'm saying? You know, if you have something going on, you might post something on Facebook. You might let us know, like, hey, I got this, whatever. You definitely have those conversations with your family. So let's just say you got a really big show coming up, but you have something going on. You're going back and forth on it. Your family might even tell you, like, hey, man, you know, don't force it. Put it off this and this and this and this. And you're like, nah, you know, I've been in the funk. I need to go do this. I'm going to go do it. You go out, biggest show of your life, you bomb. Everybody that don't know you personally, that have a friendship with you, is going to be like, man, Willie, you should have just waited if you had something going on, this, that. You should have, you know, whatever. But you was at the crib like, man, nah, I need to do this. I need to get out the funk. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at it like, man, it's just one bomb show. I know what I'm destined for. You know what I'm saying? You know what you feel like the universe is gonna bring to you. You just like, man, it's just a bomb show. Like, what's the big deal? But what we do, and when I was making my comment, especially us Black folks, I think we're super critical of our own. We ride with the real quick. But this was just a couple weeks ago. You know that girl mama died. Not you, I'm talking about everybody in the world. Y'all know that girl mama died. Why y'all gonna ride on her like that? And then, you know, she went on television and she said what she said. It wasn't professional. But she's just 21, right? You know, she's just 21. Like she shouldn't have did it. She shouldn't have did it. But when she made one mistake, everybody was like, "Oh, she's just 21." She made another mistake 2 months later. She's just 21. Was the interview was super unprofessional? Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it was. That's a cold solid fact. But, bro, and I told you, I was like, well, maybe I was super sensitive to it because I was like, maybe I was super sensitive to it because, you know, maybe I had my own mental health things going on. Bro, when you in that state, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you just trying to figure it out. She probably didn't even want to go run, to be honest with you. She was like, maybe this is the only thing that'll, you know, loosen up my thoughts in my head, and it's just running. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like she was like, you know, I'm gonna go gamble, you know what I'm saying, and lose all my money, or I'm gonna go do, you know what I'm saying, all of these drugs other than weed, you know what I'm saying? She just lost the race. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like as a whole, we didn't have to go that hard on it. That's all.
I hear you. What do you think, Denise? What's your thoughts on it?
So I always just look at it. What it boils down to is like, yes, she did lose. And yes, it looks bad, but it's literally fractions of a second. We crucified her and put her on the cross like she lost by minutes. And it's literally fractions of a second. And she's racing people who fucking finalists, like medals, people who received medals like, in the Olympics. We don't know what her training regimen was. We don't even know what it is that, you know, she was doing to prepare for this. I know a lot of people were real quick to be like, she needs to be humble. But one thing that I can appreciate about her is that, like, she's confident, she believes in herself, and she talks her shit. And I can appreciate that because at the end of the day, we're quick to be like, you know what? You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your dreams. So we can't in the same breath knock somebody for doing the same thing. And if somebody falls, it's not our job to kick them down further down into the hole. We should be like, all right, you got it. Like, okay, you had an off day or whatever, brush it off. The interview, the first post interview. Yeah, it was a little crazy. She was a little hot-headed or whatever. Very unprofessional. But a lot of people don't want to acknowledge the fact that she did another interview and she tried to clean it up.
Yo, real quick. Oh, never mind. I was gonna bid my dude farewell. He got something to go. He has something to get in a little bit, but we'll be back for a part two. Appreciate it. But go ahead.
But like, we don't want to acknowledge that, you know, like she tried to like clean it up. And at the same time, I'm looking at it where it's just like, this is a young girl. I don't want to disrespect her and call her a kid because she's a grown woman. Not as grown as I am, but she's an adult. She's legally an adult at the end of the day. And I just think back to like when I was 21, was I hot-headed? Did I make mistakes? And did I look for forgiveness? And did I need people to believe in me so I could push forward and be great? And at the end of the day, I just don't feel like she needed everybody and their mother like turning on her and like, oh, you need a slice of humble pie. Like, yeah, you could be a little bit more humble, sis, but at the same time, she needs more support with everything that she's going on and somebody to believe in her so she can truly unlock her potential and her greatness. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay. So I'll just say this. When she won the trials and she was destined to head to the Olympics to be the next best female U.S. sprinter, and she got popped for marijuana and everybody was like, boo, it's just weed, let her race. I'm a big component of, you knew the rules, you knew this was not allowed, because you've been running track for as long as I can remember. You've been running track, Sha'Carri. So you knew what the rules was. You broke them. This happened. So you can't run. She came on, I think it was Good Morning America or the Today Show. owned up to her mistake. Was like, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna do better. All this stuff. She told everybody the reason why she did what she did. So I mean, no harm, no foul at that point. You made a mistake. You own up to it. Move on. That's kind of how we are in the military now. How I think everybody should be in life. Allow people to make mistakes and recover from them. Cool. So now this race comes about, and when she first got, they were like, boom, she can't go to the Olympics. Everybody was just like, that's foul. I'm just like, low key, if she ended up going to the Olympics, she probably was not going to win anyway, based on the times of the people who are going to be in the Olympics, i.e.,
right.
These women from Jamaica are not to be played with. Like, yeah,
Team
you won
Jamaica
the U.S.
is not a
trials.
game.
That's cool. Yes, you won the U.S. trials. Beautiful thing. But in Jamaica, the time you won the trials with is like their playtime. You know what I'm saying? Like when they ain't serious running. Because these women are legit. The Olympics happened. She's not there. Of course, the ladies from Jamaica destroy the sprint events. They are not to be played with. So here comes this event. And the three women from Jamaica placed 1, 2, 3. I agree. Like, and my disclaimer was, do I think I could have ran that as fast as Sha'Carri? No, Sha'Carri would dust me.
Right.
Talk about fractions of a second. I would have finished that race in probably like 15 seconds. I would have been like 5-6 seconds behind Sha'Carri in that race on a good day. So I'm not saying I'm faster than her. She is a fine-tuned athlete and is prepped for this. My only problem was, like, if she did not give a post-race interview, I would have been 100% in her corner. Like, this is where you at. You coming back from a very traumatic incident, losing your mom. Get your mind right and come back. The post-race interview is where I was just like, Sha'Carri, like, pull that back a bit. Pull it back a bit. Like, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but when you want to establish your reputation as the Floyd Mayweather of the race, like, I'm gonna just talk my shit. I'm the fastest, this, that, and the third. Nobody can see me. And 8 people saw you, and you came in 9th out of 9 people.
That sounds so horrible.
You know what I'm saying? Like what's the boxer who was just always chirping and was just taking Adrian Broner? Like, he was trying to be the next Floyd Mayweather. I'm this, can't nobody see me. Pacquiao knocked this man out, was serving this dude, and at the end of the fight, he's like, y'all know I won that fight. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all did, like, it makes you look foolish.
Yes.
I mean, there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. And when you're an athlete, a pro athlete, then you have to have some cockiness. Like, you have LeBron James out here. He's believing in himself. I think I'm better than Jordan. I'm chasing. If I'm not better than, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have, but at the same time, LeBron can back it up. LeBron has the numbers. He has the resume. He's that. When you're young in the game and you up there, when you're up there and you're on the come up, like, because when LeBron was a rookie his first few years, he wasn't saying he was the best. He was in the offseason working on his game, doing stuff to become where he's at today. Sha'Carri, here's where I'm at. I want her to be great. I understand it's hard for Black women in America to be accepted, to actually receive flowers when they are excelling at something. There's a portion of America who cannot wait for Black people to fail on a grand stage so they can jump in there, which is what a lot of it was. I feel like my response and my reaction to her was just like, just tone it down, just pull it back, and focus on yourself. Like what Ant said, if running is how she needs to get over it, like if she ran because her mom liked to watch her run and she's like, I'm doing this in honor of my mom, I'm good with that. Run. Just when you do that post-race interview, hey, congratulations, winners. Great competition out there. I came out here. I felt like I needed to run just to get back into it in honor of my mom. Like, there's ways that she could have did that. And I feel, again, my biggest thing, and I think Janae said it too, I don't know who is in her team as far as PR, advising, all of that stuff, but maybe she needs to reevaluate who is in her team. Or if her team is telling her, hey, don't do that, and she does it anyway, then that's on her. But I feel like her team is letting her down. And I'm just saying this objectively because I don't know them. I don't know any backstory. I don't know facts. I don't know details on who is in her team. I'll try to find out and realize. But as of now, until I find out what's going on, from the outside looking in, it looks like her team is letting her down as far as prepping her for the media, because she is very emotional. She's an emotional person. She runs with emotion. She's driven by emotion. All the confidence in herself, which is what you need, like I said, to be a world-class athlete. You need that confidence / cockiness. But at a certain point, you got to pay homage to, hey, I was out here with 8 of the fastest women in the world. Now I know what I need to do. Now I know where I'm at, but that was not her.
Right.
Live TV, cussing, very, very, very self-centered. She kind of slid a little, congratulations to the women, blah, blah, blah. But the Jamaican, like when they interviewed the Jamaican women, they're just like, what do you think about Sha'Carri, blah, blah. They're like, well, I don't pay her any mind. I'm just focused on winning, doing what I got to do. That's the level that Sha'Carri needs to be at, where like everybody else talking, I ain't even got to address that. I don't need to come on this microphone and say all the doubters, all this. Just let them doubt. Control what you can control, which is yourself and your training, and you're going to be all right. But I do agree. Some of the criticism that she was getting is way, way out of hand. Way out of hand.
I do feel like a lot of people were out of pocket with the critiques that they provided. And even with what it is that you just said and how like she could have worded it, that's part of the growing pains of being brand new to the game. Because like at the end of the day, you got to think, we're comparing like her and her post interview to like the Jamaicans, but the Jamaicans are seasoned in this. Like those women who've been racing, they have been like, she's new to this. They're true to this. She's got to work her way to get to where they are. Not just performance, but even how she carries and conducts herself after the performance. She's young. She's hot-headed. And with time, it'll get better. Like, the way I look at Sha'Carri is I feel like she's an unrefined diamond at the end of the day. She just needs a little bit of polishing, and she's going to be great. She needs some polishing, and some things need to be chipped away in order to be able to unveil her greatness. But she's still a diamond nonetheless. So there's still value at the end of the day.
It's not a bad comparison. Like, because the talent is there. I like the flair. I think it's like paying homage to like FloJo and Jackie Joyner Kersey. When those sisters was running, they had the long nails, the extensions, the earrings, all of that, all of the flair, crushing the world at these sprints. So I don't want her to not be herself.
Right.
I think it's 21. You was the woman in college, winning your races. You was the woman up to the trials. You won the trials. So you feeling yourself. You you have the ability to be great. And I think she was just disappointed in herself. And her post-race interview was like her not being able to comprehend what happened. Because I'll say this. I feel the media needs to do a better job of understanding when it's a good time to interview athletes, like right after a play or right after a fight, or you know what I'm saying? Like the emotions are still there. The individual is still in an emotional state where, you know, they can't really I don't want to say what they want to say, but they are primed to say something that will be taken out of context. You know what I'm saying? Because it's live, and you say that, everybody's just like, oh shit.
Right. But here's the thing with that. I feel like the media is very trained in knowing when is the right time to like do an interview with somebody. And I feel like they purposely pick the times that they pick in order to invoke a reaction, to be able to sensationalize it and have a story. I think it's very premeditated in how they do it. It's very strategic. It's not just, oh, by chance, let me just interview this hothead, and oh, by the way, like she just happened to pop off. Like, y'all knew the vibe. Y'all knew what it was. You knew what you were going for.
100. Because when in your entire life, can you remember a race where the media runs right to the last place individual and be like, how do you think you did? No, they go talk to the winner. And the person in second, and maybe the third. For real. Nobody ever goes to ninth place. Hey, yo, so you came in last. Tell us how you feel. Like, what do you think that person is going to say? They just knew, A, everybody is about Sha'Carri. There's a lot of people against her. She came in last. Let's see what she got to say about it. And she gave them what they wanted, I feel. That's exactly what the media wanted to see.
They capitalized on her weakness, and in a way, I don't want to go as far as saying like they exploited it per se, but like they knew how she was liable to react. And so like there's responsibility on both ends. Like there's decency as being media and not just coming straight for the ninth place winner. But then there's her, and she has to be accountable for her actions and how it is that she conducts herself.
Right. Yeah, because she is demanding that attention. 100%. Yeah. A lot of the people who do come in those races tend to just keep to themselves and keep it pushing. But I will say this. I appreciate the fact that she wants the limelight. She wants the attention. She wants that because she feels she can live up to that. I will say, like you said, polish. And that goes back to her team. Like if they can talk to her, try to get her right. Like, hey, this is what's going on. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be so defiant. Like, fuck the world type. Like you can have that mindset, but that can't come out your mouth because you got sponsors and stuff. We trying to make money here, girl. Like Nike's only going to take so much of this wildness. You know, like it's a game. It's weird. Stay true to yourself, but at the same time, get the bag. It's a game that you have to play, and when it's all said and done, when she hangs them up, she can be as real as she wants. Because, like, I mean, right now she was out there. Hey, based on my personal best, I'm the 6th fastest runner doing this race ever. So we know you got the talent. Keep that up. Keep training, and your time will come, Sha'Carri. I'm in your corner. Regardless of what you see me post or how you take what I post, Sha'Carri, you're a friend of the podcast. If you want to come through, chop it up with your boy, I'm here. The good sis will join in as well.
Absolutely.
So running down our list of friends of the podcast, Jonathan Lindale, Kirk, aka the baby, and Sha'Carri Richardson, who's also in the podcast now. So go ahead. And if y'all know, go ahead and share the link so she can jump in here and join the conversation. But you ready to talk about some fun shit?
Yes, I love fun shit.
Because anybody who has social media has to be aware of this new trend going around called the Crate Challenge. I'm gonna let the good sis weigh in on this first because she has a way with words that I don't. So, Denise, you've been seeing this, and you've been seeing the majority of the participants of the crate challenge. You've seen a majority of the locations that the challenge is taking place in. What do you have to say?
I want to know why. You know what? The 5 W's and the how. Who, what, when, where, and why. Who came up with this shit? When did you have this bright idea that we're going to stack crates on top of each other in a pyramid format and we're going to practice climbing up the crates, standing, finding our balance, and then coming back down? Where is there ever a good location to do this shit? Because all I see people doing it is in like the street. And every time somebody falls, like I cringe. Like I feel like my bones are snap, cracking, and popping. And I'm only 35. But I'm just like, I feel like a secondhand, it's not even secondhand embarrassment. Like it's secondhand embarrassment, but it's a secondhand injury every time somebody tumbles and falls. And like I'm conflicted because I don't know if it's like these very small, thin, rail-like people. Like I feel like their bones are cracking. But then when I see like these round, obtuse people decide that they want to climb crates, and it's just like, you know better. No, you know. Who told your big ass to get up there? And it's like, y'all need to be stacking these crates like 1 or 2. Like, y'all be going the distance. Like, oh, I want to stack this shit 7 high. Why? Like, do you not know there's height up there? Each crate is probably like 12 to 14 inches tall. And then you just want to keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And then your big ass want to keep climbing up to the top. And then the shit get to wobbling. And then you have the nerve to be like, hitting that little Kim move and shit like this. Why? You know your big ass about to tumble. Make this shit make sense. And like for those who are successful, like how much money are you winning from being successful at this challenge? And for you old ass people, why are you letting these young TikTok kids trick you into doing dumb shit? They trying to finesse you out your damn insurance money. You don't know a scam when you see one. Shit makes me sick. People are stupid. And you just can't sit here and tell me because we're in the midst of COVID that we just unlocking all of our boredom potential. Because never in all of my 35 years did I ever think, you know what? Let me stack some crates and then let me climb up the crates and let me see if I can balance and let me see if I'm not going to fall. And every time they hit the ground, like they hit the ground hard as shit. And then they try to play it off like they ain't hurt. You know you hurt. You know you hurt.
Half these people hit the crates harder than they hit the ground. Like when they fall, they be busting their face.
Like boop, 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 boop. Like you hear the sound effects
over these crates.
And I feel like the very thin ones, like maybe they're the ones who are in the most pain because like maybe the bigger people, like they have cushion. So when they fall, the cushion breaks their fall. I don't know.
Mm-mm. I think
but the fact that grown ass adults are doing this,
bro, there was this one where they had an old dude who was wearing a hospital gown do this challenge. He fell on his neck and did not move. I thought this man died. Like the video stopped. I'm trying to look up stuff. I'm just like, did y'all get this man discharged from whatever hospital he was in, assisted living facility, and told him to climb up these crates?
Like y'all out here on, hey, Grandpa, live a little.
There was another one I saw. The biggest dude I've seen to do it gets to the top, and he just starts shaking. Like that whole top pillar was shaking. And I was just like, he knows at that point, he knows he fucked up. But it's too late.
Yeah.
Hey guys, get me down. Like, you stuck up there. The only way down is down. Make your move. And he tried the crates move, and he bust his face on the fucking car. That's another. I just don't set this shit. No, death is not an option. They be on the straight concrete with this shit, and they be like, "Well, it's the most level and stable surface." Like
y'all pick legit roads.
I can't.
Like, not that I feel like grass is that much better, but like straight up concrete, you want to pick that because I guess it's a level playing field per se. Sure, whatever. But like, y'all are real stupid with this. Like, if you was just going like 3 crates high, then maybe I would entertain your reindeer games. Not saying that I would do it or whatever, but like, I would not suffer secondhand cringing, embarrassment, injuries every time y'all fall. But the fact that y'all really be out here trying to stack them like 7-8 crates high, and then again, like, a lot of them are doing it for money, but like, how much money are you doing this for? How bored are you? Are they running bands? Like, make this make sense. Now, if it's for like 50 mil, maybe I'd be tip drilling on some damn crates too. But I highly doubt that you're doing it for that much money. You're probably doing it for like $50 at best. And a Happy Meal. Crackheads.
I think most of these cats doing it just for clout.
Probably like for clout and just to go viral.
That shit finna go viral. They just
clout is a hell of a drug.
Hood famous. They want to be hood famous.
Clout is a hell
Tell
of a
me
drug.
about it. You getting no money from it. You just gonna go viral and be like, I'm viral. That's my video got this many views, this many likes. That's cool.
You willing to damn near kill yourself to go viral
from it.
Like,
I just think, here's me as a black man. I understand. Black people, we make culture. We make what's popular. We start some shit, it gets picked up and copied. I have yet to see It's Us Do Challenge. And I don't know how I feel about it. I feel a type of way about it. It's confusing. Like, I want to tell us to do better. But I know we don't listen. So they don't keep doing it until it's not popular no more. That's just my thoughts on it. I'm concerned because motherfuckers is ending up in the ER. Like, the ERs ain't already busy with all the COVID shit. So now we got motherfuckers going in there with internal bleeding, fractures. What happened to you? Crate challenge.
That just sounds so.
Fill this form out. Go
right.
Talk about
who's your insurance with?
How does that? Come on, nobody, because they in the hood.
Like, imagine the triage nurse taking this in, and they're like, "Did what?" So let me get this straight. Let me run this back. So you were climbing, you stacked crates up, and then you thought that it was a good idea to climb up said crates, and you want your insurance to cover this. Why? You didn't think this through when you decided to do this? This sounded like a good idea. No, sweetie, it's not. It's
and
about
then
like one of the dumbest
who do have insurance. Do you think their insurance is like picking up the bill for this shit?
Hell no. In fact, I feel like the insurance is probably using these dumbass videos they're making against them in order to validate why they do not need to be able to be responsible for this. Like, this is self-sustained, dumbass. Like, this wasn't no accident. Nobody had a gun to your head and said, climb these crates or else. You definitely did this on your own. Like, that's how I know that I'm getting old. Because this shit is just stupid.
Like, when they give you that form and it's like reason for injury, cause of injury, do you think these people are like trying to think of a legit reason and not put crate challenge on there? Are they just like,
nah,
I just can't fucking
they're like
crate. Like
crate challenge.
That's when it hits them.
Hashtag crate challenge.
Hashtag?
You know the vibes. Yes.
Put the hashtag on the board.
Big facts like this. Boom boom. Hashtag crate challenge. What up?
They got the pin. They're like hashtag. Boop, boop. Oh man, shit. I don't know. I thought it would have died down by now, but then you have people like. No. I'll tell you what. If there's one person I would have loved to have seen fall doing that challenge, it was, what's this dude's name? Blueface?
Oh wow. What Blueface baby do?
Did you see his?
I watched a snippet of it. I didn't watch the whole entire thing because at this point, like, I get so tired of seeing crate challenges because it's like either you're going to fall or you're going to be successful. But don't get me wrong. I've seen some really dope crate challenges where you're just like, okay, I see what you did there. But there's more cringeworthy ones than like ones that you actually want to support and see. And even if they're successful at their crate challenge, as a functioning adult who has like any sense of normalcy, decency, anything, any grain of common sense, you don't want to be this person like supporting this dumb shit. Because I feel like I'm not doing my part as a good Samaritan in this world by supporting dumb shit like this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, if my sons decided they were going into the garage and they were going to steal a bunch of milk crates and they were going to stack them, and they decided they wanted to climb up these crates, I would slap fire out of them. Because what you're not going to do is waste my good TRICARE benefits doing dumbness. That's what we're not doing.
Have TRICARE looking into the events in my house. Have like, CPS coming over here.
Right.
CPS coming to my house.
What?
You're fucking your kids up.
TRICARE will be like,
just letting them kill themselves.
TRICARE will be like, we can't support this. Humanity Northeast, like, we
don't. Yeah.
We don't cover this. We'll send you the bill in the mail. Like, what?
We don't. Yeah. Oh shit. But yeah. So any members of the Smoke Pit, any Pitmasters, any member of the podcast fan group, please do not be on this crate challenge, and please do not film yourself doing it and sending it in. You can DM the videos to me, and I will roast you privately, but do not post them in the group because we don't want to. We don't want to encourage this very dangerous and albeit stupid, very unnecessary challenge.
Right.
Speaking of stupid, though, this last topic we're going to talk about, I just found out about this before we did the show. Let me talk to you about how desperation has hit new heights or low, on how you want to take this story. So there is a man in India, right, who wanted to have sex with his woman, but she was not on the pill, and he had no condoms, and they did not want to have babies. So my man went and got a epoxy adhesive and used it to seal his urethra and proceeded to have sex with said woman. And he is now dead.
Wait, I'm sorry. He's what?
He is not here anymore. His life is over. He died.
He died.
I know you're like, that's evil. Stop laughing. A man has lost his life.
Wait, no, like I have so many questions. How did he die?
Let me read this.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, where are we at? Okay, here we go. So, using a strong epoxy adhesive to seal his private parts to ensure protection during intercourse may have complicated a youth's health condition leading to his death, said senior police officers probing the mysterious death of 25-year-old Salman Mirza, a resident of the Fatwadi area in India. Several witnesses said that Mirza, along with his former fiance, I like how they say former because he's dead, right? Both of whom were addicted to drugs, had gone to a hotel in Juhapura. There, they applied an epoxy adhesive on his private parts as they were not carrying any protection. The two had reportedly gone to the hotel with another woman. Uh-oh. Where'd she go? You just bounce out the whole...
It says I was backstage.
Conversation. Hold on. So the two had reportedly gone to the hotel with another woman and in the hotel on June 22nd. We checked the CCTV footage and found Mirza and his girlfriend entering the hotel. He was found unconscious the next day. Then took him home and he died shortly after. So the officer said that using the adhesive worsened his health condition and he died of complications, including multiple organ failure. So let me ask you a question. I already know the answer, but I'm just ask it anyway, right?
Okay.
Can you imagine in your life where there is a situation where sex with the individual would be so life-changing? You know this is your one chance to have sex with one person. You're like, we got to make this happen. I can't get pregnant. I'm not on the pill. You ain't got no condoms. Your pull-out game is weak. So how we gonna do this? And the man is like, I will just close up my pee-pee hole. I will block my penis with this Flex Seal. It works on the, like, this man made a boat out of Flex Seal on the commercial and no water came through it. So this is just as good as a condom, if not better.
Okay.
Good sis.
Yes.
What is going on here? What is going on here?
First of all, to answer your question, no. I could never imagine having life-changing sex that would lead me down this particular rabbit hole. No, not at all. But I have so many questions. But the number one question is, how the fuck did you have an epoxy sealant, but you didn't have a condom in a hotel room? Where'd you find this shit at? And why? Like, what? What? We're sealing up the pee-pee. Like, you could have stuffed tissue up that bitch. But a sealant? A sealant. Where did you find a fucking sealant from? Like, who randomly has that in a hotel? Like, God. Let me reach into my cargo pocket. I got some epoxy sealant right here, whatever. Seal it on up and we can have a good old time. You got that, but you ain't got condoms. Not a Ziploc bag. Nothing. A grocery bag. A fucking shower cap. You're in a hotel. But epoxy sealant. That's what we doing.
I mean, not all hotels come with a shower cap.
So
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you're more likely to find a shower cap than a epoxy sealant in a tube.
The article said that the sealant was probably something that they used to enhance the effects of whatever drugs they were on. So maybe they were like huffing that shit and then doing whatever. I don't know. But they was like, I got this Flex Seal. If I seal this up, nothing's gonna leak out. We can just raw dog this shit. And I'm just like, nothing in his mind was just like, you know, you're gonna need to like pee or something like afterwards. Like, one, like, does it just stay there? Like when you're about to like your climax.
I feel like something has to hits
the wall. Your climax hits the wall, and then it's just like, well, shit, man. Like, where do we go now? Like, normally we come out, but we're still in here.
I feel like,
but we're still in here.
It has to explode. Like,
and then after sex, cat's gotta pee, and he's just like, I can't get this off my dick. Help me get this off. And you in a hotel in India. I'm sure they don't have stuff to take off adhesive epoxy. So now you just pass out because your body's just like, what? Fuck it. And then they take you home. Like, I'm not even going to do a hypothetical.
There's so much wrong with this. And the fact that you were like, what, the kid was like 25?
25.
Like,
died.
So he was a Gen Zer.
Like, and here's me as well. Looking at the woman, I think she was a big factor. And criticizing this life, I just think I don't want that in me. That chemical, whatever that is. I don't want that on me.
Why didn't he just pull out?
Pull-out game is weak. Pull-out game is weak. The establishment.
Okay, but like, you could have just been like, quick pause before we get it popping in these streets. Let me go down to the front desk to like the marketplace, because like every hotel has like a little market, and I'm gonna buy a box of condoms. And if not the market, let me go next door to like their version of CVS or whatever the fuck, because it's CVS, not like this CVS in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm sure there was a convenience store within walking distance. Like, there were so many options and answers before we decided we're going to seal up our pee hole for a good time. So many options. Like, you could have wrapped it in toilet paper. Yes, you're right, CJ Reed. We do need to research this because I'm disturbed. Like, how high? What were they on? How high were they?
You said how high were they?
Yes, how high were they? Like you got this is like some next level out of this world type shit. Like, nobody in their right mind just comes up with like, yeah, bro, let's seal up the hole and then we can go. Like, nobody. No one says let's seal up the cavern with epoxy sealant. Nobody.
Well, he did. And thanks to him, now we all know we can't do that.
You're right. And like, what's fucked up about this is like his family's probably gonna turn around and try to sue. What? It's true.
They
probably
better
will.
They better not.
They'll try to monetize and profit off of the situation. They're totally going to sue. And like, what should be common sense, do not apply epoxy sealant to your penis hole. They'll sue. They're definitely going to sue. Tragic. It's a whole tragedy out here in these streets.
There we go. I'm
Oh,
back.
he's back.
There we go. I'm back.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's real awkward in here just talking to myself.
Are you hearing an echo? Or
But they're
not?
definitely
Are you hearing an echo? I'm
or
hearing
not?
a super.
no echo.
I'm hearing a.
I hear nothing.
Okay, maybe it's just just me then. It's all good. Well, yeah, I just felt like sharing that with y'all. I had to read. I had to imagine the site. So I wanted you guys. to do this.
Nah, bro, I'm good.
You're
You
welcome.
could have saved
You're
the
welcome.
story. Like, that's the story time that we didn't need, like, at all.
A couple people say they're getting the echo. I don't know how to fix it. First time it's happened.
Oh,
Either way, we're near the end of the podcast. Anyway.
true.
For myself.
So here we are, final shots and thoughts. Once again, thanks for joining us. Coming in and touch. You got anything you want to say to our listeners like that?
Gentlemen, when in doubt, pull out. Make sure you have condoms. Epoxy sealant is not the way. That's all I have for you. Oh, and like, just say no to the crate challenge. There's no money that's going to be worth risking your life.
Oh man. I second everything. As someone who leaned on for the longest, and a 4-year-old child at the age of 40, it's not the go-to move. But I will say I am alive though. So, take that information and do what you will with it.
I have one question for you, Willie.
Yes.
As a black man in America, do you feel bold enough to go into a bathroom, turn off the light, and say Candyman's name in the mirror?
No. I wasn't doing that when old Candyman was out.
I'm just curious. Like, I will say this, a good friend of ours, she was like, let's go see Candyman. I said, no, I will not. I think the entire fuck not.
I'll go watch it. I ain't gonna say
I won't
it.
even watch it. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I saw this meme today and it made me laugh. They said that Candyman was nothing more than a 7'4" crackhead with killer bees for pets. I was like, oh wow.
I'll tell you something right now. I am scared. I'm scared of a crackhead no matter what the unpredictability is my biggest fear. Like, if I cannot predict what the fuck you fit do, and I know you have the unpredictability to do whatever,
Mhm.
I can't fuck with you. What, bro, you cool. You got it. You win. I ain't gonna mess with you. I can't.
I can't do it. So for all of you who are like super brave and like you're willing to go say Candyman in the mirror 5 times or whatever, may whomever be with you. You are a brave soul. You're stronger than I. I will never. I'm not going to watch the movie. I'm not even going to spend too much time looking at Candyman. He freaks me the hell out. I'm good. I am good, beloved. I'm good.
Enjoy.
Enjoy, beloved.
Love. Enjoy. All right. Well, that's all we got. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. I know we got y'all off guard on a Wednesday. Shout out to AntBoogie. Get him back on part 2. And then we can finish this conversation because I know he had to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. So I'm sure we'll do a part 2 with him. And then that's all you got. We'll go ahead and sign off. This echo is fucking with me. I hate it. Either way, well, she left. Okay. Oh, look. Now I'm not echoing. Echo. No echo at all. Anyway, thanks to the good sis for tuning in. Thanks to AntBoogie for tuning in. My boy jumped in here. He talking about he just got home. We may do it after hours. I don't know. I gotta eat. We may do something a bit later for y'all. Depending on when he's ready and settled down and stuff, he'll probably hit me up. We may dabble and give y'all a little after hours and let my man give his thoughts on the situations and stuff. Until then, I am the homie Mac, aka your boy, with his nice blue light reduction glasses, trying to save my vision. What's left of it, I guess. Thanks for tuning in to episode 53 of the Smoke Pit. Y'all have been great. We'll check in with y'all next.
Welcome to the Smoke Pit. It's Friday night, come and take a load off. Come sit in the Smoke Pit, it's time for us to show off. It's been a long week, come relaxing, get some laughs in, and let's talk about these brackets. And while we at it, tell me whose mans is this? Cause I got questions, I'm hoping you can answer it. Get ready, cause you know we gon' talk a lot of shit. It's Mac and Mac, welcome to the Smoke Pit.